Welcome back to J Tendencies. I am your host, J Suave.
And I am J Reese.
And it's been quite the week in the sports world today. And we're going to get right into the recap. What's your favorite things that's happened this week, J Reese?
I wouldn't say this is one of my favorite things that happened, but Curry did have his first game in 268 consecutive games without a three-pointer made.
It's like 3 years.
That's an NBA record. The last time he missed a three-pointer in a game, the Warriors still had Kevin Durant, I think it was Boogie Cousins, or no, I think it was just Kevin Durant, and then LeBron was I think it was his first year on the Lakers. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Speaking of DeMarcus Cousins, he actually just signed with a team in Taiwan today.
Bro,
get ready to
learn
Chinese, buddy.
But
no, there's actually a lot of players who are actually in leagues like that. I saw a post about it today. You have people like what's his face from? I forget his name. Who used to play for the Suns?
And all I know is bro's gonna be there just to get cooked by my boy Jeremy Lin.
Hey,
Lin Sanity.
Does he play in Taiwan?
I think he does. I don't know. I know he's right. I don't know.
Bro,
I think Dwight Howard does.
Yeah, he definitely plays in Taiwan.
I know Jeremy Lin plays. I think Jeremy Lin plays in China. Well, I think that's pretty much.
Yeah, that's it.
And then just keeping on with the NBA, Jalen Brunson on Saturday had 50 points and was the first player in NBA history ever to score 50 points and shoot 100% from the three. He went 9 of 9 from the 3-point line.
You think you could go out there and score 5?
5 in a row?
Just 5 points in a game.
Oh, in an NBA game?
Yes.
How many minutes are I playing?
48.
48. Dang.
You're playing all 4 quarters.
All right, and if I ask for the ball, they'll swing me the rock?
That's up to them.
Because if I don't get the rock, how am I going to score 5 points?
He gonna be out there catching cardio, yo.
Exactly, bro. Like, I don't want to be out
Tony
there.
Snell numbers.
I'm like, hey, I'm scoring. If they give me the rock, I'm scoring 12. I'm scoring 4 threes, deep, nothing else, because I'm not going in the paint against those big centers.
Bro, you are not finna chuck a 3. You get blocked.
Nah, bro. I'm a dink dink, step back.
You are not crossing nobody.
Dink dink, step back.
Bro, you suck.
Bro, I'm him. I'm sorry.
I mean, I also want to talk about the Spurs just broke their 43-day game losing streak.
To the Lakers of all teams.
To the glorious king of LA. The kid from Akron. Strive for greatness.
Bro, I don't care. All I think, because I didn't even watch the game, I just saw the one clip of Wemby guarding LeBron, and LeBron hit the little 3, the step back 3 in the corner. And I was like, hey.
The little moon ball.
Hey, that's the greatness. You'll never be him.
Bro.
You'll never be him. Also, you know what's crazy?
What?
The Miami Heat have not tanked, right? And they still have a top 3 rookie in the league right now in Jaime Jaquez.
Have you seen his girlfriend?
No.
Bro, give him Rookie of the Year right now. Yes.
I'll look it up after the show.
Give him Rookie of the Year right now. He has to get it. Then, also in other NBA news, Ja Morant is supposed to make his debut December 19th. The day y'all hear this, he will be playing. And the Celtics are unbeaten at home, y'all. We are going to the finals.
Bro, you know who else is unbeaten at home? The Dallas Cowboys. Are the Dallas Cowboys from the Super Bowl?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. No. Who knows?
I know. No.
You don't know nothing, bro.
I know everything.
I know everything.
Bro, you just said the Celtics are going to the finals. You obviously don't know everything.
Bro, they're going to the finals.
Bro, it's Miami Heat, bro.
Bro, no one in the East can mess with them.
You know who's coming back today? The day that we're dropping this episode. We're getting back Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo. So look, team's healthy, and we're going to go crazy, bro.
Anytime I think of Bam Adebayo, I just think of him and Colin Sexton crying in the locker room whenever they were in college. Whenever they lost this game, I think Colin Sexton missed the buzzer beater. And I can just remember him just crying, and I was just like, wow, I really don't want this guy on my team.
Wow. Every time I think of Bam, I just think of him blocking Jason Tatum in the bubble.
Oh, really?
That one crazy block.
Every time I think of Jason Tatum, I just think of him, lacing y'all up in Game 7.
Oh, my bad. What was it, 2 years ago? But in the last 4 years in the Eastern Conference Finals,
okay, bro. He rolled his ankle last year. So sad.
Boo-hoo.
He was lacing y'all up anyway. Derek White owns y'all anyway.
Bro,
man owns y'all.
Derek White is bald. I don't care.
Yeah, a bald man owns y'all. No. How you feel about that?
You don't own us. Hey, that's why they didn't go to the finals, though, right?
We're finna go this year. It don't
No,
matter.
you're not, bro.
Where y'all sitting at right now? Like 9th seed? Where y'all sitting at?
Look, don't worry about where we're at right now. Worry about
I'm
where we're
being
at.
at home, first seed. We're up by 2 games. Come on now.
Just wait until the playoffs, bro. That's all I gotta say. Wait till the playoffs.
Bro, I'm waiting because we gonna breeze our way through.
Bro,
I'm telling you right now.
Nah. Now let's go ahead and move over to the NFL. I'm gonna start off with the Cowboys blowout loss to the Bills. You know, Josh Allen, thank you. Josh Allen, he only had 94 passing yards, and they beat the Cowboys 31-10. And they had 266 rushing yards. James Cook had 25 carries, 179 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown. Bro went crazy, and Josh Allen still ended up with the game ball.
Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know how he did that, but that was a pretty good game. I stopped watching after it was 21-0, 21-3.
That's 21-3, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, well, I was playing against Dak in fantasy, so like I wasn't tripping myself, but that kind of it basically killed the odds for him for MVP just because Brock Purdy went crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, bro, if Brock wins,
give it to CMC.
Bro, give it to CMC, bro.
CMC's winning Offensive Player of the Year, especially with Tyreek missing one game.
Yeah, and CMC's first in like everything. He has like 1,800 yards total right now. So,
bro, too bad he couldn't lead everything when he was in Carolina. Even though, bro, it was going crazy.
Bro, honestly,
I know he remembered he led running backs in receiving that winning because he went 1,000.
Yeah, he went 1,000. And he should have, well, this is one of the, I'm pretty sure it was like 2019 maybe. It was the year that Alvin Kamara, or not even Alvin Kamara, it was the year that Michael Thomas won Offensive Player of the Year. And I was really hoping CMC would, because CMC went, ballistic that year. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Michael Thomas, I think he had the most receptions and the most yards. So, and I'm pretty sure he broke the reception record that year, too.
All I have to say is, if any year a non-quarterback would win the award, it would be this year. So, look out for Tyreek Hill, especially if Tyreek Hill manages to cross that 2,000 receiving yard mark this season. Look out for him, and look out for CMC, because they should be, because I don't think we'll have any clear-cut MVP at the end of the season. I think those two are real notable names that you should look out for, especially since they're not being quarterbacks, but they're also having the best seasons in football right now.
Love my guy CMC. Hope he wins if it's not Lamar.
Bro, it's not gonna be Lamar.
Bro, I gotta push my stigma, bro.
Bro, Jalen Hurts finna win tonight as we're recording this, and Jalen Hurts gonna be right back there in the conversation.
Jalen Hurts is not winning.
Bro, Jalen Hurts flu game, bro. Flu game.
Bro, nobody cared about no flu game. He is not Michael Jordan.
Bro, he's a proud member of the Jordan family.
And I don't care.
He's one of one breed.
I'm one of one.
Also, let's talk about the Chargers firing Brandon Staley after losing 63-21 to the Raiders. They were down 42-0 at halftime. That's a real Brandon Staley defensive masterclass right there.
Bro, yeah, I mean, it was just basically a no-show of effort by the Chargers. And you can even see it like on Khalil Mack's face, bro. Like, they aren't doing anything there.
Bro, I don't think I've ever seen a fan base so happy after a loss than the LA Chargers fans after losing 63-21.
I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, y'all have been waiting 2 years.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'd be excited too. But there's more to come for y'all, most definitely. Because a lot of people probably want to coach in LA. Mm-hmm. So, that's a lot. But even if that game was just, bro, 21-0 in the first quarter, you got 42-0 in the second quarter. It's just like, bro, there's literally no way that Easton Stick played that bad. You got guys on the defense, I've never even seen their names before. I don't even know who the guy who got a pick six was with one hand.
That was
Was that
was no, it was old dude that I told you guys kept saying that he was washed or he was bad. It was Jones.
Jack Jones?
Jack Jones, yes, Jack Jones.
I still think he's washed.
Bro, Jack Jones is nice, bro. I told you.
Yes, he's nice against Easton Stick.
bro. Let him cook, bro. Let him cook.
Bro, hey. I'm going to let him cook. I'm going to give him props for that pick six. It was honestly a really good pick six.
And we got big man pick six, too.
Yes, sir.
We love big man pick sixes.
Shout out to my alignment out there. Love y'all. For sure.
All right. Pittsburgh also lost 3 straight. You know, Mike Tomlin, I'm hearing his job is in trouble, going into his first losing season in his as a head coach in Pittsburgh. But I think that's a little bit of a overreaction, but not really, because at the same time, even though he hasn't had a losing season, they really haven't really won anything since, you know, Ben's been gone or anything like that. So it's really hard to see where it's going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially with the offensive troubles that they're having, because they consistently have a great defense. But, you know, when you have no good quarterback, your run game is weak, you have inconsistent wide receivers, and you can't really do anything with that. You know what I'm saying? Offense side of the ball. If your offense can't score, when your defense gets stops, it's hard for you to win games.
Yeah, most definitely bad for the Steelers. But I want to flip the script and I want to talk about the Colts here. And keep in mind, the Colts are 8-6, no QB1, no RB1, not even a wide receiver one anymore.
Michael Pittman got hurt?
Yeah, he got a concussion from DeMonte Kazee.
Oh.
And they suspended him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, the rest of the season, yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, not even a wide receiver one anymore. They're 8-6, and they just put 30 on a really good defense Sunday. And Shane Steichen is a real candidate for Coach of the Year.
Bro, I miss him so much. I miss him so much.
Shane Steichen is a real candidate for Coach of the Year, and I'm excited to see what they do, because right now in the AFC South, we said this before the season started. We didn't even think that I didn't think the Colts would be in this position, but also I didn't think that 3 teams in the AFC South would be 8-6.
Yeah.
I thought Houston was gonna lose yesterday, but Case Keenum showed me different. You know?
Yeah, man. I definitely think, especially because Shane Steichen has brought an explosiveness to that offense from Philadelphia that he brought last year. And then, you know, you see us struggling offensively over there in Philadelphia. And then you look over there in Indianapolis, and they're just popping off, right? With a backup quarterback, you know, Anthony Richardson, who was supposed to be their guy this year, who would have, I feel like, I don't know if he would have played as well as Gardner Minshew just because he doesn't have the experience. But, you know, he would have brought a lot more explosiveness to the play of that offense. So doing that with your backup quarterback, with your backup running back, and I think it was their third string running back that went crazy too, because both Jonathan Taylor is out and Zach Moss is out, so they're on their third string running back.
I thought he had played.
Who's Zach Moss?
Yeah,
I could have sworn Zach Moss was hurt.
He might have got hurt during the game. I thought he played. I don't know, but yeah, but it's just one of those things where the Colts are really one of those teams. You might see him slip in and actually make some noise. You saw him put 31 against the Browns this year too. Like they're giving good defenses work, and it all comes back to coaching at the end of the day. And Shane Steichen is definitely one of those guys to bring this Colts team maybe to the promised land.
And the last thing I want to talk about is you brought it up a little bit, but Houston beat the Titans. They had no C.J. Stroud, no Tank Dell, no Nico Collins, and no Will Anderson, and they still managed to find a way to beat the Titans. And that team is going to be scary when they're all there together next year and in the playoffs this year if they make the playoffs, which I want to bring up later. And that defense, they still held Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in football, to 16 carries and 9 yards. Like, that's insane, man.
Yeah, I mean, They were holding him all game, which isn't usual for Derrick Henry, especially against the Houston Texans. Because over the last few years, you see Derrick Henry average like 120 yards against them. You remember all the videos of him stiff arming people,
dribbling people,
going for 75-yard runs and stuff like that. That's the guy you'd want to start in your fantasy if he's playing the Texans that week. But I mean, you just looked at Will Levis. He struggled to keep drives alive, and part of that is because the running game wasn't working. Pretty sure he finished with like 199 yards, 200 yards. But whenever you can't get the running game going, they already know you're gonna start passing it. And whenever they can just sit back there, just coverage sack you just can't sit there and do anything because obviously nothing else is working.
The crazy thing is the Texans are still kind of in that rebuild period. Like, don't forget, this year they had the third overall pick. Was it the third? No, they had a second overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, and they're looking to make the playoffs right now. You know what I'm saying? And they did this without their starting quarterback, without their 2 best wide receivers. without their star pass rusher that they just got in the draft. Like, they're doing all this during a rebuild, and I just think that's crazy.
Yeah, I want to talk about Case Keenum. 23 for 36, 229 yards, 1 touchdown, and the pick 6, of course. But, and I also want to talk about this because I just talked about how Derrick Henry, it doesn't really work whenever you can't run the ball. You had Devin Singletary, 121 yards on 26 carries. And you see the Texans win the game. Like, we talked about this the other week. How important is the run game? Mm-hmm. You feel me? So whenever the run game is this important, you don't have your guys. You don't have CJ. You don't have Tank Dell. You don't have Nico. But that you don't even have your starting left tackle. But your offensive line gets behind there, gets nitty and gritty. You start running the ball. 121 yards on 26 carries. And he even had 4 catches for 49 yards. It's a crazy day for Devin Singletary right there. And honestly, just just a really good showing by Houston. Especially when I didn't even think they were going to end up winning that game. Mm-hmm. And last topic I do want to talk about, I finally had another good Sunday, y'all.
What happened? Tell them what happened.
Keep pounding. My Panthers won, baby. 9-7.
First off, that's a ugly scoreline right there. I'm not cooking you. I'm just saying that's an ugly scoreline right there. 9-7.
Bro, it can't be worse than 3-0.
That is true. That is true.
But yes, man.
What Bryce doing on that last drive? What was Bryce doing?
95 yards, y'all. 6 for 6. Got us all the way down to the 1 yard line. Just amazing last drive by Bryce. I was so happy for him. He made some good throws. We made some good catches. That was the best part of it. We actually caught the ball.
This is what you love to see from a rookie quarterback who's been struggling all year. You get to see some promise, and that's exactly what you want in the rookie quarterback. So once you start building around him, you start building that old lineup, you start getting him a real number 1 wide receiver, some real targets to throw the ball to. Bryce Young is going to exceed, and he's going to be a great quarterback for y'all in Carolina.
Bro, I'm really hoping that, bro, because I've definitely thought he showed so much promise. Because keep in mind, I've been watching this guy since he was in high school at modern day. So it was like this guy going from there to being on my favorite NFL team is crazy, you know. But I'm hoping the Panthers do him right, bro. He's a really good guy. And I also want to talk about this defense that the Panthers have. The defense that took this Falcons team, held them to 7 points, which I'm not going to say is crazy because they have Desmond Ridder at quarterback. But with just holding them to 7 points, the Panthers, y'all might even call me crazy. I think the Panthers have a top 5 defense in this league. Top 5. And you can see that in yards allowed. You might not see it in turnovers, but you can see it in yards allowed per game. You can see it. No QB this year has thrown for 300 on the Panthers at all. And we are 2-12. That is not a showing on our offense. I mean, that's not a showing on our defense. That's showing on our offense. Mm-hmm. And you can go look at all the games. You can go see we've gotten 40 points dropped on us before. That's because we turn the ball over so much, bro. So it's like this team is honestly it's bad, but like the defense, we need to keep this defense together. Yeah, the defense has been a highlight of this year. But you go look at the offense, and we probably had like 4 straight 3-and-outs in this Falcons game. Mm-hmm. Like, I was surprised they didn't score more, like, honestly.
I don't know. The Falcons suck. Their coach is bad. They got at the number 8 pick, they drafted a great running back, and they ran him 6 times that game. So it's like, I'm not really surprised they lost with doing stuff like that. Yeah. So what's his name again? Arthur Smith?
Yeah, Arthur Smith.
He needs to get fired.
I think they want to keep him. But if you look at the runs he did have, like Derek Brown and Brian Burns.
But if you only give him 6 carries to run chances to run the ball, it's hard for you to establish yourself in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. And I completely understand that. But whenever you're not even getting stalemated on the line of scrimmage, you're losing yards, 2-3 of those runs, you're already cooked. Yeah. Like, you've been losing yards already. You might as well start trying to throw the ball. But that's a terrible place to throw the ball, too, because it was one of the worst. Like, it was raining, storming, all that. had no fans there. I want to blame it on the rain, but like
they were selling that 45 cents a ticket.
Bro, if I lived in Carolina, I would have gone.
Bro, they weren't real fans in Carolina, bro. They're not real fans.
I feel like, bro, tickets being that cheap, you should definitely be going to the game. Mm-hmm. So if I lived there, I'd be like, yeah, I'm finna slide.
I'm saying, bro. But like, yeah, that was crazy. But I'm not really that surprised because I'm gonna lie, I am surprised just because you know they're having a down year. If this is your team, you're gonna go. You need to go out and show support. You know what I'm saying? But that's not something we're gonna talk about today. I'm just saying that's crazy. You know.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and look towards the future. Right, the Chargers and Patriots are both likely looking at a full rebuild. And I was just wondering, what is your opinion on what the Chargers and the Patriots should do going forward, and how they should build their teams back up from what is really, what's the word?
Just down bad.
Yeah, just down bad.
So I'm gonna start off with the Chargers. They're already gonna clean house with their staff, but one of the things is you already have Justin Herbert under contract. Mm-hmm. I think one of the main things is you have to keep Derwin. Mm-hmm. And I know Brandon Staley has like made it look like he's been misusing Derwin because you've seen Derwin with a lot of penalties this year, a lot of somewhat bad plays by Derwin this year. But as a general manager, as a GM, he's a gem. Mm-hmm. I mean, like,
and watching him as a fan, you know, Derwin, even though he's had a lot of bad like hits or calls, I still like that. You know what I'm saying? That's showing aggressiveness. He's getting to the ball. He's showing out. He's doing a great job. So really, I think, you know, after firing Staley and their general manager, they're gonna be looking to keep those main people there. You know, they're gonna keep Herbert. They're gonna keep Derwin there, and then keep Asante Samuel Jr., who is a pretty solid cornerback for them. You know, I'm not saying he's like a lead or anything like that, but he's a really good cornerback for what they have.
It's a position you can't afford to like go back on
because it's really hard to find good cornerbacks in the league. So if you find one that's good, like it's hard to find an elite cornerback. So if you find a good cornerback, you still need to find a way to keep him around.
Yeah, and we saw the Chargers before they even drafted Asante Samuel Jr. They were looking terrible on the DB side because they had Casey Hayward. He didn't look too good that year. I'm pretty sure now he's on the Raiders unless he's not anymore. But with Casey Hayward, that was just such a bad year for that Chargers defense. And once they got Asante Samuel, it just, I won't say it like raised significantly, but it kind of takes some of the pressure away from a lot of the other guys. Mm-hmm. And still with the Chargers, I do think they should make some changes on the defense. You got valuable guys. You got guys like Khalil Mack. You got guys with valuable on the offense too. You got Keenan Allen, who are kind of reaching that age where they could still be valuable or not. Because it's one or the other. But I think they need to keep them just like to not alienate the fans. You feel me? It's like one of those things where you should keep them. But I think if I were them, I would rather probably try to package like Mike Williams and Joey Bosa.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same page as you. Like I said, they're probably gonna look for to move on from those big contracts so they could build young and build and try to find like use them in key trade pieces.
Yeah.
So people like Keenan Allen, Bosa, but I also said Mike Williams could get traded as well as Austin Eckler. I wouldn't be surprised because you know how the league looks at running backs and they don't really see the value of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Eckler moves or they move him. But I wouldn't say they should move him, technically, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. You know what I'm saying?
I think, by the way, Eckler was acting before even the season started. Because he didn't even basically want to be there. So, I mean, I'd probably just want to move myself. And I think if they're going to go ahead and clean house already, might as well get something valuable for him. You feel me?
And I also think they're probably going to look for an offensive coach to help build around Herb. Like an offensive-minded coach, because Ron Rivera's most likely going to be out there in Washington, and I'm not saying that I want Ron Rivera should be the coach because obviously not. He shouldn't be the coach of the Chargers. But I also heard things that Eric Bieniemy is not going to be the head coach there in Washington when Ron Rivera gets moved.
That's so crazy.
It is crazy. So, but imagine if he goes back to that division. Instead of coaching up Patrick Mahomes, he's coaching up Justin Herbert to play Patrick Mahomes twice a year. I feel like that'd be a great, because he's a really good offensive minded coach, and Justin Herbert could do a lot of the things that Patrick Mahomes could do that Sam Howell just can't. So he could bring some of that stuff over there to LA, and he would be a good person to keep in mind for that head coaching position. Also, someone like Bill Belichick will help build that defense if you want to work on the defense more than the offense. But, you did just have a defensive-minded coach in Brandon Staley, but even though Brandon Staley was not a defensive mastermind, Bill Belichick could get that defense right. But I don't know if anybody in the Chargers organization will really want to be coached by Bill Belichick, just because a lot of people now don't want to be coached by Bill Belichick on the Patriots. They don't like the way he runs things over there. So I don't know how that's going to work in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw something like I'm gonna switch over to the Patriots, but I saw you know how Jared Mayo is on the staff over there. Mm-hmm. I think people were thinking like he's like hard headed and stuff, and big headed with like how he wants to, or how he's quote unquote next up for the Patriots job. And honestly, as of right now, I don't think there's any saving this team. You feel me? And they're gonna have the second pick in the NFL draft, and who knows if the Bears keep Fields or not. But if they do, and the Patriots take Caleb, I think whoever goes to New England's cooked. Mm-hmm. Like in all honesty, because that team is just gonna make it seem like you're bad as a player, mm-hmm. and I feel like it's gonna kill your confidence.
You're going to be the new Carolina Panthers.
Bro, not even that. You're going to be like Zach Wilson on the Jets. You're going to be miserable.
You're going to be early Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Browns.
Yes, bro. Like, I don't have any hope for the Patriots. I'm not too sure about them. I mean, other people might think differently. It's not even that they don't even have basically a really good... Their defense has honestly declined since the first part of the year anyway. Mm-hmm. And I get that has to do with injuries too. But it's just like, this team hasn't showed any promise. Not even with beating the Steelers last week. Because the Steelers lost 3 in a row. So honestly, who really cares? That team isn't that good either.
I kind of think that the Patriots could be more like look great in the future. Especially because I do think that defense, even though they have declined since the beginning of the year, they are still a really good defense. That's mainly to do with Bill Belichick's coaching and stuff. Because, he is a really good defensive-minded coach, and he gets the schemes all different. So the offense know exactly what's going to happen. So he's really good at hiding those looks on the defense side of the ball. But I do think they'll clean house on offense because they really don't have any good wide receivers or a good quarterback on their roster. They don't have a real solid running back. They have what's his name? Man, I keep forgetting everybody's name. The number one running back right now. Yes, they have Ramondre Stevenson, and he's a pretty good running back. I'm not saying he's a great running back or anything, but he's a serviceable running back. Their O-line is not great, so I think that they're definitely going to look for a quarterback in the draft. If they don't look for a quarterback in the draft, I think that'd be crazy.
There's no way they don't.
Yeah, there's no way they don't. They do have Matt Corral, I think, on the practice squad, which, at this point of the season, I'm saying, why not give him a try? You know what I'm saying? Because I think he would show a little bit of promise, and you also don't have a quarterback that you can really rely on this season, so might as well see what you have in-house before you go looking for a quarterback, So I just say give him a shot one of these last couple weeks. Because I know you want to see him play, because I know you want to see him play in Carolina before you unfortunately got hurt last year. Yeah. So
it honestly sucks because I won't say I will say the Panthers kind of killed his confidence, and he even posted something about him being depressed whenever they drafted Bryce Young, and I was like I felt bad, but also the NFL football is a physical game. Injuries happen, and it's always a next man up type of thing. You get opportunities, you take them whenever they're given to you, right?
Yeah, the Panthers wouldn't get a quarterback no matter what in the draft. It was just depending on who was going to be there, and even though they did trade up for the first overall pick, I feel like even if they didn't do that, they would have probably traded up a little bit just to then get Anthony Richardson or something. Because I heard early on that's who, it was either between him or CJ that they really wanted in Carolina, especially Frank Wright. But it was the ownership that wanted Bryce Young at the first overall pick, so that's why they got Bryce Young that early.
Yeah, bro. I'm not even gonna dive into that.
Mm-hmm. That's another. That's not for a different day.
Another day. But even the Patriots didn't even have that bad of a game this week. I know they lost by 10. Bailey Zapp was robbed of another touchdown to Hunter Henry, but he ended up finishing with 1 touchdown and 1 pick. But it's still like, bro.
And you see the defense, even though the defense turned Patrick Mahomes over twice, even though one of them was because Kadarius Toney dropping the ball and it tipped right into the defense's hands. Another one was just a great play by the defender. I think it was Jonathan Jones on Travis Kelce.
Yeah. And
he undercut the route and got the interception.
Yeah, it sucks that plays like that kind of woe on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, bro, if I hit you in the hands and you don't catch that and someone else do, how is that on you? And I see people tweet about it all the time, but there's no one else you can give that stat to. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's basically what my take is on it.
Let's go ahead and go into the playoff sleepers as we get closer to playoffs. We see a bunch of teams that are in the wild card race or they're, like, right on the verge of being in the wild card. So I want to know what are some of your teams that you have as sleepers that you need to look forward or look out for while we're going into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of my teams that I wasn't so high on a couple weeks ago, but now I am over the past few weeks, they've shown so much promise, is the Buffalo Bills. And I say this because the AFC race is so tight right now. Mm-hmm. Only one team has clinched a playoff spot, and that's been Baltimore Ravens as the 1 seed. And they aren't they the only team with double-digit wins in the AFC too?
No, the
Dolphins.
Dolphins have 10.
Yeah. So, and the Dolphins haven't even clinched yet. So, you have 2 teams with double-digit wins, and you have one who's actually clinched.
And also think about this. The Bills are only 2 games behind the Dolphins, and right now they currently have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins, and they play again later this year. So, if the Bills are able to win out, and then it comes to a tiebreaker, and then they have the game, the Bills are going to go and get in over the Dolphins. So, that's a real,
real possibility.
Yeah, real possibility. So I also had the Bills as one of my sleepers. They've been on a tear lately after firing their offensive coordinator. And Josh has been playing really smart and confident football lately. Even though I think this is the first game in a minute he hasn't had an interception or thrown an interception. But he also only threw for 94 yards. But I think they found their identity with their run game as well. You saw it this week with James Cook going absolutely insane against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And their run game has just been taken off ever since that Philadelphia game. They've cooked us on with the run game. They were low-key cooking with the run game against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think going into the playoffs, I have more faith in this team getting in, especially with Josh Allen at quarterback compared to the Bengals and Colts, who are on their backup quarterbacks, even though both those teams are playing really well right now. I just think I have a little bit more faith in Josh Allen to get into that situation where he'll get in the playoffs over those 2 teams.
Yeah, and the second team I'm gonna go ahead and put in there, they were on the 5-game win streak. The Denver Broncos, they're sitting at 7-7 right now. They just ended up losing to the Detroit Lions. But honestly, they don't have such a tough schedule in the next couple of games. But it's just a matter of winning those next few games
and hoping the Chiefs kind of fall off.
You gotta hope everyone in the AFC loses. Mm-hmm. To be honest,
you know what's crazy, bro? Someone at work the other day was trying to say that the AFC is weak right now, and the NFC is harder. The NFC is not harder at all, bro. Like the AFC, like the team. You said it earlier. The fact only the Baltimore Ravens have clinched a playoff spot. It's crazy. And they haven't even clinched the 1 seed. They just clinched a playoff spot. Because right behind them, you have the Dolphins, you have the Chiefs, then you have a couple teams that are 8-6 just waiting to get, like, all the way to the 9th seed, or the 10th seed, I think, they're all 8-6.
Yeah.
So that's just insane. But one of the teams that I have on my list is, I think they're the 5th seed right now, and that's the Cleveland Browns. You're going to get playoff with Joe Flacco, who's been in that situation before. They have an incredible defense, an offense with plenty of weapons to help their seasoned vet at quarterback. And they have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate on the D-line going crazy. So it's going to be really hard for them to lose. The only thing that will cause them to lose in the playoffs once they get there is Joe Flacco. But the thing with Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco is at that age where he'll be a really good game manager, and he's been in that situation before. So if the Cleveland Browns end up making a deep playoff run or end up winning the Super Bowl somehow, you know how crazy that'd be?
Bro, that means everybody wins.
Yeah, that means exactly.
Because there's no dialogue, there's no stigma being given. Everybody wins if Joe Flacco wins.
Exactly. I would not be angry.
I wouldn't be angry either.
I know my friend, my coworker would be happy because bro is a Cleveland Brown fan. Bro would be ecstatic. Get their first ring.
But yeah, bro, I mean, but I feel like, for me at least, I don't think they're a sleeper. I just think they're a really good team. And it's part of the defense that helps out. It's part of their defense, that offensive line, and that run game. Jerome Ford has taken the torch from Chubb. I
just think they're a sleeper because people really started counting them out once Deshaun Watson got hurt for the rest of the season. And then
Joe Flacco has played better.
I know. Joe Flacco hasn't played better. But I'm just saying, back when that happened, people were really started counting them out. And like, I'm not saying people counted them out right now, but I'm just saying Joe Flacco has elevated this team to that next level right now. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. And he's probably going to retire after this year anyways. Because bro is 38.
Yeah. And they're going to end up playing the Texans on Christmas Eve. Then the Jets at home. Then the Bengals is their last game on the road. That'll probably be the game that really determines who gets in. Because right now you have the Bengals at 8-6. But we'll
who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought, for real, bro? I mean, the Bengals, they're going to play the Steelers and the Chiefs after that too. So hopefully we'll see a good game with the Chiefs. Maybe we see a Jake Browning masterclass. Again, bro.
Bro, Jake Browning's been cooking, bro.
Nah, for real. It's been a really good, 3-4 games for him? Over here cussing out the Vikings. Should have never cut me.
But the last team I got is Houston Texans. I think they just got a great win without a lot of their key pieces. And I'm saying they may make a big impact in the playoffs with all their big pieces. I'm not saying they're going to go win the ball or anything. But I'm just saying the way this young core has been playing, like this extremely young core has been playing, is so crazy to me. Like, I don't think I've seen something like this.
Yeah. It's promising too.
Yeah, it's so promising. And I don't really see anything stopping this team except for inexperience. That's the only thing that I'm going to say will stop this team in the playoffs, just because they don't have a lot of those, veteran guys that have made those playoff runs or made, been in the league that long, making those big impacts on the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, not even I think. My last team, or I'm going to name two teams that I think are going to at least be sleepers or somewhat get there. And that first team is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. And this team, sitting in a playoff picture right now, they'd be 7th seed. So right now, if the season were to end today, they would make it. But it's just one of those things to where, this team is so much different from whenever they took that 23-point loss to the Cowboys. And they've came through. Kyron Williams has been going insane. Matthew Stafford hasn't been making as many mistakes. You have the defense playing well. In the next few games, they're going to end up playing the Saints. They're going to play the Giants and the 49ers in the last week of the season.
Is it at San Francisco?
It is going to be at San Francisco, which is the bad part. But you got to hope that people lose, which is fair. And my other team is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not the biggest fan of the Vikings, but this is a real sleeper team. But the only problem is
that quarterback position.
Yes. And another problem is that they are going to play the Lions twice in the next 3 weeks. They play the Lions twice in the next 3 weeks. And they're going to play the Packers on New Year's Eve. So, honestly, they might end up pulling one win out, which is why you also got to hope people lose. But also, the NFC isn't as stacked as the AFC is. So, no matter what happens, you still might have a chance. You feel me?
I don't think I have any NFC teams in my sleepers. I just think the AFC is so stacked. So, it's really anybody could win, even if they're not one of those top-seeded guys. I just think the AFC, you'll get most of the sleepers winning. I think most of the teams in the wild cards will end up losing, except for the Cowboys or the Eagles, whoever makes it that 5th seed, because they're 10-3 or whatever at the 5th seed. So like, there's no reason they should lose to whoever wins the NFC South, because you know.
Don't sleep on the Bucks, bro. Don't sleep on the Bucks.
We already beat the Bucks. I'm not tripping on the Bucks. I'm not tripping about the Bucks. But and then the Rams. I think the Rams are the only other team that I agree with you that are a sleeper coming into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, man, let's go into our games of the week, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the first game, which I'm pretty sure you have this game as well. But it's the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. Like, pretty much, this is
game of the year.
This is an in-season Super Bowl.
Literally.
Like, the top seeds of both NFC and the AFC going head-to-head with the two MVP candidates right now, Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy. And it's just like, what's going to be better TV than this? And what is this? Is this Christmas Eve?
This is peak cinema.
And this is Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Like, what would be a better Christmas gift to me than watching the 49ers lose?
Bro.
I am a Ravens fan on Sunday.
That'll be Monday night, Christmas Day. My bad.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Monday night. So that'd be a real Christmas gift.
Bro, I know it. Like,
Flock. What was it? Flock Ravens.
Ravens flock.
Ravens flock. Let's go. Let's go.
But y'all, I'm telling y'all, if Lamar Jackson goes out there and beats this 49ers team, I'm telling y'all, MVP him.
They're winning the bowl.
MVP Lamar. I've been saying this since like week 8.
Like I told y'all, right now, the Baltimore Ravens are my favorite to win the bowl, and I don't see that changing anytime soon unless they lose.
I feel like everyone wins if the Ravens win a bowl too. I feel like no one really dislikes them besides
racists.
Racist in the AFC North.
Oh yeah.
So I guess, bro, like, but I mean, there's just one of my favorites to win the Super Bowl at least. I'm hoping Lamar gets his second one. I feel bad for Dak. I want a brother to win the MVP. So.
I either want Lamar to win it, Jalen Hurts, or CMC. And Jalen Hurts is third right now because we lost those two.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say one of my games of the week. And one of mine was already Ravens versus 49ers, so I'm going to just say my second one. And this is going to be the Browns versus the Texans.
I also have that game too, brother.
And it'll be a really good game this week, I hope. And I'm hoping for these teams to actually score a lot of points. And I'm just hoping, because Browns are already 9-5. They might win 10 games this week. Like, who would have really thought the Browns would be winning 10 games this year?
Especially with the inconsistency at quarterback, because Deshaun Watson would play bad, get hurt, play good, play bad, get hurt again, come back, play good, play okay, play bad, and get hurt for the rest of the season. Then you get Dorian Thompson-Smith playing. You get P.J. Walker playing a game, beating the 49ers. Then you get Joe Flacco going crazy in 2023. Like, this is...
Giving it to David Njoku for 40-yard games.
Like Roger Goodell, give your scriptwriters a raise.
But yeah, it's just been such a roller coaster season for the Browns. And it all started whenever they beat San Fran. And that was whenever we were like, well, this team is legit.
It's real. They real.
This team is legit. And then
the Houston Texans are also just unpredictable. Ain't nobody thought that the Houston Texans would be this good. Everybody thought that the Texans, Colts, and the Panthers would be, pretty okay. And then they all defied expectations because two of them are way better than okay, and one of them is way worse than okay.
Bro, please relax on my team.
Bro, I just had to mention those three teams with the rookie quarterbacks.
Bro, I want to hear your third game because if we have the same ones.
The Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins.
We do not have
Okay. But this is also going to be a good game. Dallas Cowboys, they have struggled on the road. And they're going to be at Miami this game. Tyreek Hill will be back. And I think that the Dolphins are looking to finally get that win over a over 500 team. Because I don't think they still haven't got it yet, have they?
No, sir, they have not.
All right, so this is their perfect opportunity to take advantage, and this is a perfect a revenge game for Dak after losing this week. Dak, they said you suck. They said you're not no MVP. They said that it was all a fluke. How will you respond?
How will you respond, for?
How?
They don't even be saying anything. They just be saying 4. I mean, that'll definitely be a good game. I mean,
and I think that's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Dolphins just came out from a 30-point win against the Jets, shut them out, which is honestly something you don't really see. Especially, you had Jalen Waddle going crazy. Tua might have been the first quarterback to actually play pretty decent against the Jets.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott did play good. And then my last game, and it's because like it's a must-win game for both teams. And I'm going to go ahead and say it is going to be the Lions versus the Vikings. And everyone is kind of, after they had lost that game, not this past week, but the week before, everyone's kind of, I won't say sleeping on the Lions, but like you said, you think they're frauds, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you got to win this game. You're going against a team who is desperately trying to make the playoffs, and they're hungry for a win. They just lost to the Bengals, 8-16 right there. Minnesota 7-7. They're right there, just trying to get over the hump, trying to get over 500. How will you respond? Jared Goff. They said you're a turnover machine. They said your son's name is Jack.
Bro.
They said this team is frauds. How will you respond, 16?
Bro, what's it called? I just know if Jared Goff loses, they're gonna be the memes on Twitter. It's like, who did the Lions just lose to? It's gonna be Joe Biden. Minnesota.
Bro, that's so funny. But I mean, I think it's a must-win game for both teams, especially if the Lions at least want to try and just win out at least, because they're gonna end up playing Minnesota twice. So hopefully that's a good game.
All right, let's go and get into our top 5 teams. Hey, you mind if I go first? My thing might be a little controversial, especially my 4. All right, number 5, I have the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, yeah. They did just lose in embarrassing fashion to the Buffalo Bills, but I do think they are still one of the better teams in football. I also think they're a better team than the Miami Dolphins right now, and that will all be determined by Sunday's game. Number 4 is where it gets controversial because they do not have the best record. They are not currently in the playoffs if the season were to end today. But I have the Buffalo Bills at number 4.
I won't say that's crazy.
Like, they've been on such a tear recently. They beat the Chiefs, so I can't put the Chiefs on there. They beat the Dolphins. I can't put the Dolphins up there. And I think the only team they lost to that could have been up there were the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are also frauds. So, I think Buffalo is playing really great football right now. Josh Allen's playing some of the best football he's been playing all year right now. And that run game is activated for the first time in a minute, because I don't think I've ever seen Buffalo have this good of a run game ever since LaShawn McCoy was there, going crazy. Shady McCoy, my guy. But number 3, I have Philadelphia Eagles. They went up 1 spot. Even though they haven't played yet, I'm confident what they're gonna do today. But Dallas Cowboys had to go down after losing to the Buffalo Bills, obviously. And I just think that Philadelphia already beat Buffalo, so that just puts them at 3. And I really wish they were 2 or 1, but I can't put them there yet. And it's still gonna stay the same. I have 49ers at 2, Baltimore Ravens at 1. Ravens are obviously still my favorite to win the bowl, and I really think they're gonna win this game on Sunday. Or Monday.
I mean, that's a good list. Some people would call it controversial. I won't say controversial. I feel like people who do watch ball be like, yeah, that's a really good team. As of today, this moment, they're
but if you're stat watching, they're going to be like, bro, what are you talking about, dude?
But then at the same time, this week of football, I won't say the needle is moving for me. And I have to say, my list has stayed the same since last week. I don't think anybody's moved. And I know the Cowboys just lost by, 21 points? Yeah. But at the same time, I think it was just a really good game by the Buffalo Bills. And they'll definitely in my top 10. Honestly, they'd probably be at 6. I don't think they're a better team than the Miami Dolphins, which I have at 5. Then I have still Philly at 4.
You don't have Buffalo better than Miami? They already beat Miami, though. They beat the brakes off of Miami, too.
I just still don't think they're better as of right now.
Interesting.
But, I mean, I'm taking that win over the Jets by 30 points. Still pretty high. Just because you don't usually see that. I feel like this week the needle just hasn't really moved for me because, like, we even said last week the Bills beating the Cowboys wouldn't be as crazy as we thought. You know? Because they already beat the Chiefs. And they only lost to y'all by, what, 6?
But
in overtime.
Yeah, but they had the lead in overtime. So I'm saying they're a good team. And I'm saying that the Cowboys needed that win, especially with the NFC East South. I mean, East. I said East South. What the heck? The NFC East race is so close. You know that the Cowboys need to win most of these games in the last stretch. So the fact that they lost that game is really putting them behind.
Yeah, it is. But just for me, the needle hasn't moved, and I'm just gonna keep my list exactly the same, with Miami, Philly, Dallas, what's it called? I had Baltimore and the 49ers.
All right. And
what?
Oh, no, I was gonna wrap it up, man.
I'll wrap it up for us. That's about all we have today. This is gonna drop December 19, 2023. Hopefully, it's been a great week of football for y'all.
Hopefully, Philly won the night before, so I'm having a great victory Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
sorry, Dallas, for that loss. I mean, I didn't take it to heart, but I mean, y'all will be back somewhat. And just, I ain't nothing to say besides that. You got anything, Jreese?
Nah, just have a great week, guys. We got a lot of good NBA games, a lot of good football games coming up. You know, all the Christmas games and all the Christmas Eve games. So our next week episode, it'll probably be a little bit delayed. Probably drop Wednesday or something. Just because Monday we'll have it'll be Christmas, so we won't have time to record since we'll be spending time with our families and whatnot. So it's either gonna drop Tuesday night or it's gonna be Wednesday morning when the next episode drops, when you get the news, sports news and whatnot.
Yeah. So y'all have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all. And we will see y'all next week.
All right. Have a great time, guys.
Alright. Deletes.
Hey, play the middle of it just so we know the audio is good throughout.
I'm gonna go grab my charger. That was it.
Can you grab my shit real quick?
What?
My yeah.
My shit's at like 2.
Man. Damn, bro. You better hurry.
Shut up, little bro.